Occurred the 3rd of March 2018, 14 hours 14 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: LaGrange, IN, USA. Shape: sphere. Duration: no of observers. 1 characteristics: aircraft nearby. 2 A-10s appear to be chasing an unknown object. Photos taken sitting at desk looking over photos from previous night's ISS pass over. Witness heard what he thought to be a snowplow coming around the corner from the SE, but there was no snow on ground. Had to be jets based on the sounds. He grabbed his camera next to him and got to the door in seconds, the sound intensifying as 2 A-10s flew over the house headed NW, followed by sounds fading fast. He ran out the door, down the steps and half the driveway for a clear shot without trees blocking line of sight. He obtained 1 photo in with the wrong setting, nothing but white, changed settings to auto-adjust, then got a series of photos focusing on the A-10s using the viewfinder to watch them before they got too far for the camera to capture clearly. Then he watched for a few seconds by eye, clearly seeing 2 planes, but a third object ahead of them, darker and smaller, didn't seem to be a third plane. Trees and horizon blocked his sight as they flew over to the end. He went back inside and started looking to magnify the photos and noticed the dark object they were following in the photos was too blurry for him to really see any marking or even basic shape. He showed these photos to the family and they weren't too sure what the third object was either. For years, the A-10s have had training flights right over their house at least once or twice a year. There has always seemed to be just 2 A-10s that he'd seen flying in formation using the farms and silos as targets. They usually branch out over both roads after crossing over his house. The sounds just seemed different this time to him. This time you can see in the photos they are both heading the same way after a dark object. 1 plane appears to be changing course to follow the object.
Occurred the 22nd of April 2009, 22 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: LaGrange, IN, USA. Shape: triangle. Duration: 10 seconds. No of observers. 1 characteristics: lights on object. Triangular fast mover sighting of an object moving to NE at very high altitude, 45,000 to 60,000 feet, at what looked to be at least 1,000 to 2,000 miles per hour. It then made what I would think to be a 30-degree turn to the east instantly. It was triangular in shape and had very fast pulsating strobes of different colors, and was completely silent.
Occurred the 5th of June 2013, 5 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location: LaGrange, IN, USA. Shape: flash. Duration: no of observers. 2 characteristics: lights on object, aura or haze around object, left a trail, emitted beams. Green flash like fireball object in the sky of LaGrange, Indiana. For one, there wasn't a visible type of shape, just a flash or beam of light that was green. It zoomed across the sky like it was a falling star or something. It really freaked my sister and I out. She had been talking me to work when we had seen the flash of a green fallen star looking thing in the sky. Either a fireball or some odd occurrence happening. I can't say what it is or anything, cause it was just an odd unexplainable thing. It could be like a fireball-like appearance as well, but a flash of light too. It happened just once thou. We are not crazy. I am 22 and she is 20. I work and was on my way to be dropped off at work at about 5:30 this morning in LaGrange County, Indiana. Wish I could provide a picture or anything, but it was just a sudden thing that happened. Catching that on camera or video would most definitely have to be known and planned before it happened.
Location: LaGrange, IN, USA. Shape: light. Duration: 30 minutes. No of observers. 3 reported. The 11th of December 2020, 8 hours 3 minutes and 50 seconds Pacific. Posted the 23rd of December 2020, 0 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Characteristics: lights on object, changed color strange lights over LaGrange, Indiana. The 10th of December 2020, I was talking to a friend in my driveway and witnessed strange lights low in sky. The light was very bright white and meandering around slowly. Too slow to be a plane and too bright to be a drone. After 15 minutes or so, the light turned red and occasionally flashed the bright white light. Eventually, it faded off heading west, best I could tell.
Occurred, the 15th of July 2015, 3 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Topeka, IN, USA. Shape, fireball. Duration, 3 seconds. Know of observers, 2. Breaking sound barrier from a dead stop. This all happened about 3 years ago. Me and my friend were night fishing at Emma Lake near Topeka, Indiana. It was about 3:30 in the morning. We were each in our own float tube. I was facing the shore, he was facing the deep water. I went to cast when I noticed a blue ball of fire popped up out of nowhere, about 20 feet above the trees. Then another and another, forming a giant circle. The moment the last connected to the first and completed the circle, the whole center lit up. I looked away for a moment and realized it was bright as daylight and I could see for miles. Then I looked back at the light and boom. It broke the sound barrier from a dead stop. It all happened in about 3 seconds. We never heard a sound before the engines fired up. The sky was completely clear and we never saw it go over our heads. At first I thought I fell asleep and had a wild dream, but just then my friend started freaking out about a bright light and a loud bang. Yes, it was all too real.
Occurred, the 14th of April 1965, 13 hours 30 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, Walcottville, IN, USA. Location details, outside of Walcottville on Cousins Farm. Shape, cigar. Duration, 3 hours. Know of observers, 2 characteristics, possible abduction, missing time, marks found on body afterwards. Daytime loud humming sound, went to sleep, woke up 3 hours later. My cousin and I were outside under the willow tree. We heard a loud humming sound and we seen this thing come out of the clouds, fly over us, and she ran to the shed. I stayed outside to watch. I saw long slanted windows with silhouettes of being standing there looking at me. I got scared, ran to the shed too. She put her hands over her ears and kept screaming, "Go away, leave us alone." I started saying it too. Next thing I knew, she went to sleep. I tried to wake her up, but she would not wake up. The sound kept getting louder inside my head even though I kept screaming, "Go away, leave us alone." I got so sleepy I walked over to this table, put my head down and went to sleep. I woke up 3 hours later. She woke up too. We were both in different places then when we went to sleep. I don't remember what we said to each other. We were scared to leave, then her father pulled in the driveway and we walked outside. We told him we got scared and she said it was by this noise and wouldn't let me tell him what, and then he said it was just a railroad track and she agreed and I did not understand why. Then her mother came home, must have been about 5:30 p.m. It had been at least 3 hours that we slept. I remember that night we didn't talk much. The next day we were sick, really bad sick. My mum had to come pick me up. She asked how come we were so sunburned. I don't think it had been hot enough to get sunburned, so we thought we got sick from the sunburn. I didn't remember anything else until I was about 30 years old, which would have been about 15 years later, that I had missing time. That was the first time. I believe it's followed me through my life, and I know for a fact that over a year ago it came back. I saw a bright light in my window that lit up the whole entire bedroom, and when they came down through the ceiling to get me, there was 3 of them. I told them to go away, that I wasn't supposed to be taken anymore. They said they were done with me, but he got to the foot of the bed and that's all I remember. I didn't remember till recently that it happened, but I remember now that brilliant bright light. I wanted to get up and look out my window to see what it was. I may have done so, but I don't remember if I did. The first time they took me, I remember talking to one of them and asked him how do they make their ships fly, and his response to me was magnetics. I wanted you to know that the most important thing, magnetics. Also, he could read my mind as well. He asked me about something that I was thinking about and I was surprised that he knew what it was. I know we talked for a while and I know I have probably asked him a lot of questions, but I just don't remember all of them, just those after the first time. I seem to have found that I had a birthmark under my left arm, except my mother told me that I was not born with a birthmark and neither one of us knew how it got there until later on. I'm sure it came from them. A lot of my memories, things I haven't even told you about, because I can't tell if they are memories, not dreams, but the first one and the last one I know are real.
Occurred, the 16th of January 2007, 18 hours 0 minutes and 0 seconds. Local location, South Milford, in, USA. Shape, light duration, 2 minutes. Know of observers, 1 characteristics, Lights on object. I witnessed a bright light hover for a minute, then shoot straight up into the sky and disappear. I was driving southbound State Route 3 at approximately 6 p.m. Tuesday at dusk when a bright light caught my attention to the left. It looked like a helicopter or plane headed my way, but the more I looked it wasn't moving in any direction. So I figured it was a helicopter hovering. We had a large ice storm with power lines down, checking for damage or drugs. However, after a minute of sitting there, the light starts to dim as if it's turning, then moves to the left a little bit, then shoots straight up into the sky, through the clouds. When it was going up, it almost reminded me of when a space shuttle has taken off and is going into space. I lived in Florida and have witnessed many launches. It had the speed of one, but no jet trail or anything. The only light I saw from it seemed to be a flame, almost like an afterburner of an aircraft, but not blue, coming from it. After it disappeared into the clouds, I didn't see it again. I tried to be logical and rule out as many things as I could, since I don't want to come on here sounding like some idiot who sees a plane or satellite and thinks it's a UFO.